there is a silent moment happening across Africa right now. A moment where young people whisper to themselves, if nobody is coming to save us, then maybe we should save ourselves. And quietly, they are. In a small town in Nigeria, there's a young man named Namdi. No job, no big connections, but he had a laptop and stubborn faith. Every evening when the power went out, he would sit outside charging his phone with a small solar panel, learning coding from free tutorials. People laughed, some mocked him, but Namdi used one simple belief. If I learn one small skill every day, one day Africa will look different. Meanwhile, in Kenya, Amina was tired of seeing farmers lose crops because of drought. She didn't complain on social media. She built a simple app that tells farmers when rain is coming and connects them to cheaper irrigation tools. Within months, villagers were using it. She wasn't famous, but she became valuable. Across the continent, Rwanda, Ghana, South Africa, Egypt, young innovators quietly started solving problems governments couldn't solve fast enough. No applause, no spotlight, just work. And one day the world noticed. Africa is not waiting anymore. The continent is not poor. It is unorganized power. Our challenge was never lack of talent. It was the belief that we needed permission. But now, a new generation understands. We are not the victims in the story, we are the authors. Yes, there are still challenges, corruption, bad leadership, unemployment, rising costs, climate stress. But something has changed. Africans are building solutions from the ground up without asking anyone overseas for permission, validation, or applause. Namdi finally launched a small startup, not to look rich online, but to help local schools access AI tools cheaply. Amina's idea expanded into East Africa. Farmers who once feared drought now had hope and information. And both of them understood change doesn't start with government announcements. It starts with one person deciding, I will no longer wait. Africa's biggest resource isn't oil, gold, or land. It is ordinary people who refuse to remain ordinary. The world isn't suddenly becoming interested in Africa because they love us. They see results. They see resilience. They see a continent waking up. If you are watching this, listen carefully. Learn a skill. Improve something around you. Collaborate, build, teach, share. You don't need connections to start. You need persistence. Because Africa's next chapter will not be written by politicians or speeches. It will be written by doers. One day history will say, Africa didn't rise because someone saved it. Africa rose because its people finally saw who they truly were. And maybe you are part of that story. If this touched you, share it with someone who still believes Africa is powerless. And subscribe. An old African father had 2 sons. Both were born into the same poverty. Both saw the same struggles, but one became powerful and the other remained stuck. Kwame grew up blaming everything. The government failed me. The country is useless. Nothing works here. He spent hours arguing online, criticizing everyone, but building nothing. Every year passed, and life Zuri saw the same problems, but reacted differently. He asked himself one question: what if these problems are opportunities wearing dirty clothes? So he learned digital marketing, helped local shops sell online, and slowly built a business. No miracle, no shortcut, just discipline. One day the father called both sons. He gave each of them 1 bag of seeds. Kwame threw his seeds on the ground and said, "The soil is bad anyway." Zuri planted his carefully, watered daily, protected them, waited, and endured. Months later, Kwame saw weeds. Zuri saw a farm. The father said, "Africa gives everyone seeds. Some complain about the soil, others learn how to grow. Our continent doesn't owe us success. It offers opportunities. disguised as struggles. Look around. Young Africans are building tech startups, exporting skills online, turning agriculture into business, creating content, innovating in fintech, not because life is easy, but because they refuse to throw their seeds away. The real enemy isn't poverty, it's mindset. Poverty says, there is nothing here. Vision says, there is something here, I just need to build it. And the world is starting to respect Africans who don't beg for opportunity, but create it. Kwame eventually realized something painful. He didn't fail because Africa failed him. He failed because he never believed he could grow inside Africa. Meanwhile, Zuri employed people, supported local schools, and became proof that greatness can grow here. So the next time someone says, Africa is finished, smile gently and remember, seeds don't grow in the sky. They grow in difficult soil. And difficult soil is exactly where strong trees are born. If this story inspired you, share it. Let's rewrite how the world, and we ourselves, see Africa. There is a village in Africa where people once believed only politicians had power. Until one night, they discovered the truth. And it changed everything. The road to the village was terrible, broken, muddy, dangerous. For years, elders begged leaders to fix it. They made promises during elections, then disappeared. Children missed school, farmers lost produce, ambulances refused to come. Hopelessness became normal. One day, a young teacher named Tendai returned home. He saw the road and felt anger. But instead of blaming, he asked, what if the problem didn't wait for government? People laughed. They said, who are you compared to leaders? But Tendai didn't argue. He organized. He gathered the youth. Each weekend they filled potholes, carried stones, cleared gutters. Slow progress, hard work, no cameras. Then something unexpected happened. The farmers joined, the market women joined, the men who once sat complaining joined. The road began to change. The local politician heard. For the first time he felt pressure, not from complaints but from citizens working without him. He rushed to the village, pretending he planned it all. But everyone knew. The power was never his. The power was always ours. We just forgot. Africa does not lack leadership. Africa lacks organized communities. When people unite with purpose, leaders follow. When people wait for miracles, nothing moves. Your vote matters, your voice matters, but your action matters most. The night the road finally opened, the village didn't celebrate the politician. They celebrated themselves. One village learned something the world never expected Africa to realize. The people are the government, the leaders are employees. And when the people wake up, everything changes. If you believe communities have power, share this. Let's remind Africa what we already carry, the boy who refused to leave Africa. Everyone told him, leave Africa, there is nothing here. He packed his bag, then paused, and what happened next shocked everyone. His name was Cheeky. Like many others, he dreamed of Europe, cold weather, big paychecks, a different life. His friends left, some succeeded, some disappeared. Every day he thought, maybe greatness is somewhere else. One evening, his grandmother sat beside him. She said quietly, a bird that runs from the forest does not know there is another forest waiting to be planted. Those words burned in his heart. Instead of traveling illegally, Chaiki stayed. He learned solar installation, started helping homes without electricity, built trust, built skill, built value. Slowly, his work grew. Life wasn't easy. There were days he wanted to quit, but he remembered, if everyone leaves, who will build the Africa we are dreaming about? Today, Cheeky trains young people. He installs solar power for schools. Families who once studied by candlelight now read at night. He didn't escape to find opportunity. He created it where he stood. Leaving is not failure. Staying is not weakness. The real message is, wherever you are, build something meaningful. Because purpose doesn't live in countries, purpose lives in people. One day, when others returned home with stories, they found Chike, not rich in luxury, but rich in impact. And quietly, they envied him. Share this with someone who thinks they are too small where they are. Sometimes destiny is exactly where your feet already stand. The woman who turned pain into a movement, they said she was just a woman. They were wrong. Her struggle built a movement and saved countless lives. Her name was Ngozi. She lost her husband in a preventable hospital mistake. Grief broke her, but instead of becoming bitter, she asked, "How many families suffer silently like this?" Ngozi began visiting clinics, talking to nurses, learning. She realized the truth. Many deaths weren't from fate. They were from systems that could be improved. So she started a group, Women for Safe Hospitals. They trained caregivers, raised awareness, challenged authorities respectfully, but firmly, collected data, organized, and slowly things changed. Some mocked them, some tried to silence them, but her voice carried something powerful: truth, love, courage. More clinics improved, mortality dropped, and across the region leaders began to listen. Because when mothers rise, nations awaken. Africa doesn't need heroes wearing capes. Africa needs ordinary people who refuse to accept unnecessary suffering as normal. Ngozi once said, "My pain could destroy me, or it could teach me to fight for others." She chose to fight. And because of her, lives were saved. Share this for every African woman who leads quietly. Their strength is rewriting history. The farmer who built a digital empire. They called him just a farmer. They didn't realize he was building an empire. Musa inherited one small farm, old tools, no modern systems. Neighbors laughed. Farming is for the poor. But Musa believes something different. People may abandon land, but food will never go out of fashion. He learned online marketing, started packaging produce better, sold directly to restaurants and schools, cut out middlemen. Profit tripled. Next, he created a WhatsApp group for farmers, shared tips, weather alerts, market prices. Soon thousands joined. Then he launched a small platform. Investors noticed. Musa realized something powerful. Wealth isn't created in the city. It is transported from the land to the city. He opened jobs, trained youth, improved food supply. One farmer became a digital CEO. The world may laugh at simple beginnings, but Africa's future wealth hides in places people ignore. Agriculture, logistics, energy, tech that solves real-life problems. Next time someone calls you just a farmer, smile and remember, empires grow quietly, one seed at a time. Share this with someone building quietly. Their breakthrough may be closer than they think. The bridge between two tribes. Two tribes lived side by side, but hated each other for generations. Until one young builder did something no one expected. Markets divided, schools divided, friendships forbidden. Small disagreements turned into big conflicts. People forgot why they were even angry. They only remembered the hatred. A young mason named Saif asked, "If the elders won't bring peace, what if we begin?" He proposed building a bridge across the river that separated both tribes, not symbolic or practical. At first, both sides refused, but eventually, curiosity won. They worked, side by side, stone by stone, day after day. Conversation began, laughter followed. The bridge grew, so did trust. On the day it opened, children from both sides crossed first, holding hands. Elders wept, because sometimes walls fall not through speeches, but through shared labor, tribalism, racism, division. They survive where people never talk. The moment we work together, our humanity returns. Africa's future won't be built by tribes fighting. It will be built by tribes building together. Share this story as a reminder. Unity is not weakness. Unity is strategy.